Underneath Lisa Simpson's adorable and intelligent exterior lies an arrogant, insecure, narcissistic girl who is a social justice warrior with no likable personality traits.
You think a girl can't flip out? Well, you're wrong! My flexi cast!
In this video, we'll dig deep into the dark side of Lisa Simpson to find out why she's the biggest narcissist in Springfield. Why Lisa is a narcissist. First off, we need to understand some traits of being a narcissist. This includes a grandiose sense of self-importance.
That's it! I can't live in a house with this prehistoric carnivore! I am out of here!
Preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love.
Hush, field trip boy! Impaled on my Nobel Peace Prize. How ironic. Yo, Lise, come back, Lise, come back!
Having an interpersonally exploitative behavior.
Stop talking like that, stop it!
Lisa, please.
And a deep envy of others or a belief that others are envious of you.
Who am I kidding? There's no way I'm ever gonna beat Allison.
Some of these traits could easily be found in some Springfield citizens like Mr. Burns, but every single one of these traits are embodied by Lisa. A prime example of Lisa embodying a combination of these narcissistic traits is in the episode Lisa the Skeptic. It's just really hard to stand the way Lisa behaves in it despite the episode being really funny. It's appalling the way she treats the people who believe it's an angel they dug up, going as far as to call them morons. Even when Marge tells Lisa that she feels sorry for her because she can't take a leap of faith every once in a while, Lisa says,
Don't feel sorry for me, Mom. I feel sorry for you.
You see, Lisa prides herself on her intelligence and integrity, but if her ego is at risk, she displays a willingness to breach her morals just like the time she sabotages her rival Allison's diorama at the school fair in Lisa's Rival. In this episode, we can see her deep envy of others and a grandiose sense of self-importance come to play. The new girl Allison is a slightly better saxophone player and a way more cultivated intellectual academic, and Lisa cannot handle it. She freaks out, wanting to ruin Allison and eventually adding the dim-witted Ralph to their squad to possibly feel better about herself. Her jealousy knows no bounds, as it even extends to her own sister. In the episode Smart and Smarter, Maggie is shown to be 8 IQ points higher than Lisa and shows some impressive aptitude for a toddler. You'd think this makes Lisa happy, but all it does is destroy Lisa's ego, confidence, sense of purpose, and identity. She cannot handle it.
Meet Maggie Simpson, IQ 167.
167? That's amazing for a Christian.
But my IQ is only 159. Maggie's more intelligent than me?
She literally gives up on life and runs away rather than confront her own issues or ask for help or just push through it. Being this envious of a 1-year-old baby is narcissism at its peak. And later on in this video, we'll see more of how Lisa embodies the deadly sin of envy. And you'll see that this envy is just a byproduct of how narcissistic she is. Another instance we see her dark side come to light is at the end of Lisa the Vegetarian when she's talking to Homer after she's supposedly learned her lesson from Apu and Paul McCartney about not forcing beliefs on other people. Here, she tells Homer,
Actually, Dad, this time I was wrong. Too.
Homer did absolutely nothing wrong, but she just can't admit that anything is actually her fault. Never accepting blame is classic narcissism. Her narcissism gets even darker in the Hamster vs. Bart episode. Lisa literally treats Bart like a meaningless test subject and degrades him in pseudo-intellectual rants the whole episode just so she can feel good about herself. And just when we thought it couldn't get any darker, her narcissism leads her to be something of a murderer. Lisa the Killer.
Maggie, you're such a quick learner. Why don't you learn how to fly?
But I love you.
Even though this is just a dream, it reveals a very dark side of Lisa, and that is her affinity for murder. We see this again in the episode Bart Gets Famous, where she imagines impaling Bart on one of her awards and smiling so gleefully.
Hush, field trip boy. impaled on my Nobel Peace Prize. How ironic. Yo, Lise, come back, Lise, come back.
The scariest and closest she's been to being a stone-cold killer is in Dial N for Nerder, where she tries to help Martin get off a small ledge on a cliff with a stick, but accidentally pushes him off and he falls.
Come on, wake up.
So she and Bart try to cover up what they think is Martin's accidental death, believing they've killed him, and siblings are consumed by guilt throughout the episode. But while Bart's urge is to go to the police, Lisa discourages it and urges him to keep it a secret. Lisa exhibited a darkness in this episode that terrified Bart, viewers, and her fans so much. Another terrifying instance was in Dude, Where's My Ranch? On the day of the dance party, after meeting Clara, Lisa deliberately sends her to the wrong path, nearly killing her. And even though Lisa did confess what she did, she realizes Claire was not Luke's girlfriend, but his sister. Meaning Lisa put Luke's family member in lethal danger due to a misunderstanding. In Flanders' Ladder, when Bart gets into a coma, Lisa takes the chance of revenge after he humiliates her with embarrassing photos online by whispering horrible things, which causes nightmares to Bart.
You're gonna see the one thing everyone's afraid of. Death and dead people. That's right, buddy.
She only stops because the doctor tells her it could cause serious brain damage. Funny enough, her affinity for murder is not even close to her worst trait. It gets darker. And if you stick around, you'll see how terrifying a self-righteous hypocrite she can be. But for now, let's investigate how Lisa embodies the deadly sin of envy. Lisa is the sin of envy.
Jealousy is when you're worried someone will take what you have. Envy is wanting what someone else has.
The environment that Lisa navigates is fraught with jealousy and frustration because her siblings regularly draw more attention from their parents and the school faculty. This lack of recognition stirs a deep-seated anger within her, particularly since she prides herself on her maturity and behavior, which often go unnoticed. When faced with rivals who challenge her, her jealousy intensifies, manifesting in anger and disruptive behavior. Despite her claims of seeking a challenge or camaraderie, her inability to accept being second best can lead to her acting out, transforming her internal struggles into external conflict. This blend of brilliance and vulnerability creates a complex dynamic, revealing the deeper layers for her quest for acknowledgement. There is a season 30 episode E! My Sports, where Bart becomes a very successful League of Legends parody player and his team gets to go to Korea for the championships, and Lisa literally sabotages it because she always wanted to go to Korea. She chooses to be miserable about the experience instead of acknowledging that because of Bart she was actually able to accomplish one of her longtime dreams. She manipulates Homer to be the one who ultimately sabotages the competition.
Now do you see it? Do you see the meaninglessness of striving for worldly things?
I do. I am going to stop being so driven and ambitious.
A similar thing happened in Jazzy and the Pussycats. Bart turns out to have a natural aptitude as a drummer, which attracts the attention of two musicians Lisa idolized. Being an envious narcissist, she is livid that her brother is so good at something she enjoys, not to mention that she was arrogant enough to believe her capability with a saxophone as an 8-year-old no less would impress two apparent jazz legends while smugly mouthing off to Bart during the performance.
TikTok, maybe you could get yourself some of that sweet, what do you call it?
Lisa the self-righteous hypocrite. Envy is not all Lisa is guilty of. She is also a self-righteous hypocrite who forces her views on people. We see this quite a few times, more obviously in the episode Bart Star. Amidst the tension in the episode, Lisa makes a bold entrance in football gear, proclaiming her mission to challenge sexism in sports.
That's right! A girl wants to play football. How about that?
It becomes evident that her motivations aren't rooted in promoting equality, rather, she seeks to position herself as superior. The moment she realizes she's not entering a groundbreaking battle against sexism, but rather facing the reality of her own mediocrity, her interest wanes. She doesn't give up, she tries to play the animal cruelty card. This scene highlights not just her hypocrisy, but her deeper desire for superiority rather than true equality. Again, in the episode Money Bart, Lisa cannot admit that she's wrong about something. She invades Bart's friend's baseball team so she can have something on her college resume. She takes out all the fun of the game and keeps on ordering people around. When Bart decides to rebel, she throws him off the team instead of acknowledging that she doesn't know how to coach a baseball team.
Come on, guys. I had to get rid of Bart.
But he shocked a walk-off dinger.
That dinger was a fluke. Not that I have to defend myself to you. Managers manage and players play.
Lisa's narcissism still shows anytime she develops a crush. She eschews her morals because she wants to kiss the boy, and then she rejects everything about the boy and tries to change him to be exactly like her, and then breaks up with them when they actually try to be themselves and stand their ground, something she pretends she constantly has to do. We see this when she had a crush on Nelson Muntz.
I was foolish to think I'd actually changed you. Maybe I was seeing things in you that weren't really there.
Lisa is the cute and intelligent voice of reason in the Simpson family, no doubt about that. But the evidence presented thus far suggests that there is something sinister lurking in the depths of her psyche.
And now you can go back to just being you instead of a one-dimensional character with a silly catchphrase. If anyone wants me, I'll be in my room.
Is Lisa an insensitive, murderous, envious, hypocritical, self-righteous narcissist? Most likely. And even the producers of the show know this. They sometimes acknowledge it subtly, but they mostly ignore it or give her the moral or intellectual high ground, even when it's not particularly well justified. What do you guys think? Is Lisa really as innocent as she appears?